done.
But what's the overall number for the budget bill?
I think that you're going to have to look at it and find out what you're able to do through a reasonable, responsible way.
So then how do you know that it's not 3.5?
It's going to be at 1, 1.5. We don't know where it's going to be.
So you think ballpark 1.5?
It's not going to be at 3.5, I can assure you. But with that, whatever it is, once you have a competitive tax code that you can compete globally, and then you should look at what the need is. What's the urgency and the need that we have?
And again, I want to get to that, but just because this is the thing that people consume. Do you have a ceiling?
Please, please, Joe Manchin, please, please support the $3.5 trillion bill, please.
My ceiling is this. The need of the American people, and for us to basically take in consideration inflation. No one's concerned about the debt. You know, our debt as of Friday was $28.7 trillion. And we're not even talking about that. No one's talking about that.
You just said 1.5. It sounds like 1.5
I'm just saying that basically, well, I've looked at the numbers. If we have a competitive tax code from a non-competitive, it doesn't help the working person that was done in 2017. That's in the 1.5 range, okay? If that's where it is, shouldn't you be looking at what does it take now to meet the urgent needs that we haven't already met?
Okay, so let's talk about how this would be paid for. The White House Chief of Staff, Ron Klain, told me on this show last week that you are, quote, very persuadable on this budget bill because he says it will be paid for. It won't add to the debt. It won't add to inflation.
Please!
What is, let me ask you this, though, this is long-term infrastructure that in some ways, you know, they call it human infrastructure.
Social reforms.
I understand that. Social reforms, however you want to look at it, when people have different names. They take investment. This isn't short-term, and it wants to be paid for. And if it's paid for, there shouldn't be an inflation problem.
And the only thing I have said, there's not a rush to do that right now. We don't have an urgency. Don't you think we ought to debate a little bit more, talk about it, and see what we've got out there?
So you're not against this? You could support this $3.5 trillion plan.
I cannot support $3.5 trillion.
Okay, so that is all right, now we're getting to Brad. It is not a time issue. It really is a cost issue.
Please!
Are you going to be the lone vote against President Biden's
agenda?
agenda?
I don't think that I am the lone vote, and I think you know that too.
Right, but would you be willing to be the lone vote?
I've said this, if I can't go home and explain it, I can't vote for it.
And right now you don't think you can explain it?
I can't explain what we're doing now.
Please!
We've called for a strategic pause on the president's Build Back Better plan, the $3.5 trillion plan. But party leaders, from the president to Speaker Pelosi to Leader Schumer, have all rejected that call for a pause. Schumer says it's full speed ahead in the Senate. It can't pass the Senate without your vote. So where do things stand right now?
Please!
But if the bill is fully paid for and doesn't add to the deficit, the unknown that you're concerned about, one of them is inflation. That's not really a concern, is it, if the bill is fully paid for?
Please!
So what's your bottom line? How long should the pause last? And what's the most you would accept in a final reconciliation bill?